The hangover from last week's midterm continues to linger over at the White House.
Yeah, and the president is feeling much of the fallout. KCAL9 political reporter Dave Bryan has the late details and reaction. Dave?
Yeah, I think so. These seem to be the worst days so far in the Trump administration for the president, with the midterm elections looking worse every day for the Republicans and the Democrats chomping at the bit. It's no wonder President Trump is reportedly in a foul mood these days. So the president has sharply reduced his public profile since the election, and he has not focused on the centerpiece of his midterm campaign, the immigrant caravans, which he claimed are going to invade their country.
Democrats want to open borders, which equals massive crime.
President Trump was everywhere you looked in the months leading up to the midterm elections, hammering away at what he called the border invasion by criminal illegal immigrants in a caravan hundreds of miles away.
Because you look at what's marching up, that's an invasion. That's an invasion.
In fact, in the 3 weeks leading up to the midterms, President Trump tweeted 45 times about the border invasion. None since then, zero. And the president has sharply reduced his public appearances since the election, failing to visit an American cemetery in France, where a ceremony was held to honor World War I victims, and making only brief White House appearances like this since his return to the U.S.
Thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
On Wednesday, the president made a quick announcement and walked away without answering questions. No mention of immigration and no mention of what he called the imminent invasion. Even though the first wave of 800 migrants has now arrived at the border south of San Diego, where there's been a fortified wall for decades, looking through the barricades, and some were climbing it. So when the Defense Secretary and the Homeland Security Secretary visited the Mexican border on Wednesday, where 7,000 military troops have been sent by the president, he was not there. And there are now multiple reports that the president is isolated and growing more furious every day, according to CNN. With the midterm election still haunting him, the president told a conservative website Republicans aren't winning because of potentially illegal votes, which he described this way: when people get in line that have absolutely no right to vote and they go around in circles, sometimes they go to their car, put on a different hat, put on a different shirt, come in and vote again. Manhattan Beach Congressman Ted Lieu told CNN the president's charges are completely bogus.
The president has no evidence for those claims. He's just making stuff up. But in particular, this is a very damaging and dangerous claim because it threatens the very bedrock of our democracy, which is the integrity of the ballot, of the vote. There is no evidence that we have all these illegal votes. What we have instead are votes that are being counted.
The president's foul mood could reportedly mean trouble for some high-ranking administration officials, including Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen and even White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. Now, both Secretary Nielsen and Chief of Staff John Kelly are reported to be under scrutiny by the president, and there are multiple reports that the search for a replacement for Kelly is already underway, focusing on Vice President Mike Pence's Chief of Staff.